Okay, we're in chapter, our module 154, and it talks about patient reception. How do we take care of patients? How do we schedule appointments? Can all y'all hear me? And what we
Yes.
and what we've talked about, when you get ready to open your books for any chapter, the first thing you should be able to see are your objectives. Your objectives. And after completing this chapter, you should be able to. I haven't been sending you a lot of words to define. I think it's only been the words that are in the chapters that are not so many. So if you ever open up your book and you're saying, now where do I start? What am I looking for? Your objectives, after completing this chapter, you should be able to explain the general duties of a receptionist. And guys, all these that they're asking you for, you're going to see these again because they want you to know that, because you probably see them on your NCCT review. Describe, and I've been putting that maybe one or two in your coursework, and you just have to answer them. Okay, describe the personal qualities that are important to displaying a professional image when you're working as a receptionist. You should always look the part, always look professional. And I try to say, if you think professional, then you can look professional, okay? I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, describe the characteristics of a well-maintained reception area. Somebody, what should your reception area look like? You know, describe the processes of opening a medical office for the day. If you come into the medical office and you're going to be 9 times out of 10, if you're in that front desk, you're going to be the first one that patient sees. What should your area look like?
Organized at all times and clean.
Organized, clean. You should have the papers in order. Not looking at my desk is looking right now, but you should be well organized. You think professional. If you can think professional, you can look the part. You can look the part. Okay, we won't go into the case study. Okay, let's do the case study. It says, it says, keep this case study in mind as you review this chapter. Y'all, it's in the beginning of your chapter. I need y'all to look at this case study. It says, Tania Washington is responsible for opening Pearson's Physicians Group on Tuesday and Thursday morning. She arrives early and is the first employee at the office. She's the first one at the office. There is a patient waiting at the front door to be let inside for her appointment schedule for 45 minutes later, which is when the office is scheduled to open. When Tania opens the office door, that's the student. Okay, it says when Tania opens the door to the office, she sees the reception room has magazines strewn about, the children's books are not neatly piled, and the trash bag was not emptied. Think about that case study that I just gave you guys, because I think I did put it on there for you to think about it and give me your answers, okay? Because at the end of the book, you will have answers, okay? So let's look at the duties of a receptionist. The duties of a receptionist, when you get there, even though I'm a medical assistant and I should be working in the back, opening the office, greeting your patients upon arrival, assisting new patients with completion of paper forms, collecting payments, maintaining a clean and safe environment in the reception area. It says managing any disturbance in the reception area. You got 2 people arguing at the front desk, or you got 2 people arguing in the lobby, don't you go and say, what you said? Hey, leave that go, let that alone, because that's not your business. Call 911, all right? Or if you have a security manager on site, call your security manager. Handling medical emergencies. Guys, that's why it's so important for all of you to have taken your CPR over here, because a lot of times in the medical office, you will have to use your CPR. You will have to use what you've been trained to do. And at that time, you're going to still think critically. A lot of times, critical thinking is just a lot of common sense. You're going to still have to use your critical thinking skills. It says scheduled return appointments. When I was at the office, I scheduled the patients for them to come in. That's another thing. I scheduled for the patients to come in. Is Sheena on the line? Is the
Yes.
recording going to be up? Okay, so a lot of times when I worked on the office, in the medical office, I was in charge of getting the patients in there. So I scheduled all my labs at a certain time, all of my, if I had some cancer patients, I scheduled them all at a certain time. People that were acutely ill, that were really terminally ill, a lot of times they don't want to be bothered with the riffraff of what's going on in the office. They're quiet, so schedule them at a certain time. Be smart about how you schedule your patients. Making reminder calls for upcoming appointments. That's the duties of the receptionist. Okay, we just went over that. This stuff is going slow, guys, and I apologize for that. Critical thinking question. How does the receptionist's appearance and behavior affect the patient? Can somebody answer that for me? How does your appearance and behavior affect a patient?
I'd say like if you aren't dressed professional, then the patient might not view you as a worker there sometimes, depending on your appearance. And depending on how you speak, the receptionist, like depending on how you speak, the patient can take words aggressively or not. They might not understand if you're not speaking proper grammar or using proper key terminology.
Okay, anybody else?
When a patient comes into the office, they expect the people who are taking care of them to be dressed professionally and act according to the way they should in the medical office. So if a patient goes into the office and you look like you have a bad attitude or your uniform is all stained, they're not going to take you serious. They're going to act out.
Yeah, that's correct. Anybody else? Okay, Ashlyn and Lorena, you're the only one who got points today for participation. So let's look at some personal characteristics. Receptionist is the first person patients see upon entering the office. That's what I said. You are the first person that they're going to see when you come into the office, okay? Your demeanor reflects the entire office. The way you look reflects the entire office, okay? Look people in the eye. Speak clearly. Smile. If you're having a bad day, it's all right to smile. Smile, exercise basic courtesy. I walked in the office one day and I said, good morning. Good morning. Oh, good morning. And then she put her head back down. I walked out and I'm in the process of finding another doctor. My doctor wants to know, where are you going? Why are you changing the office? I said, because I have to teach the girls in my class that you got to look me in the eye, speak clearly, smile. I say good morning twice. I said, and she never even noticed me, you know, she never even acknowledged me. She never acknowledged that I was there. And when she did, it was good morning. Oh, good morning, you know? No, so exercise basic courtesy, guys. Pay attention to detail and accuracy. Okay, physical appearance, careful grooming, good hygiene, appropriate dress. You go in some doctor's offices and I think the uniforms are too tight. Scrubs are not meant to show everything. If you got a smaller bottom, then your top should be where you can move, where if you bend down, I don't see your thong or your butt, okay? That's just not appropriate dress. Office policy specifies preferred clothing. Shoes, closed toe for safety reasons. Hairstyles and jewelry should reflect professionalism. Name pins and tags visible at all times. What do we call that with what goes on in the office? The office what? That's your office what? How it's handled in the office?
Protocol. The protocol.
All right, protocol. Very good, Sonia. The protocol. Okay. So it says communication skills. Listen to what others are saying. If you keep your head down and I'm talking to you, you're not hearing me. Look me in the eye. Understand their needs. Respond in helpful and non-defensive manners. Appropriate telephone etiquette. You go in some offices and some people might not perceive you the way you present yourself, because you've got prejudice going on, you've got misunderstandings that are going on. You have people that just don't understand cultures, okay? Be prepared for that. Be prepared when somebody asks you, is there somebody else in this place that can help me? Be prepared for that. Don't get offended by it, because you're the professional one. You're the professional one. You need to maintain that professionalism, keep your character, keep your cool. It says maintaining the reception area. Term reception area is more positive than the outdated term waiting room. Okay, neatness. A messy reception area reflects poorly in the medical office. Plan a consistent time each day to straighten your area. Magazines, brochures, and toys should be neatly arranged. That's a good reception area. Cleaning. Areas should be routinely cleaned, and especially guys with COVID. Make sure you glove up, don up, clean your areas. Periodic deep cleaning also necessary. Maintain a communications book with cleaning services to log the request. Let your provider know the times that you clean your area. And not for just your patient safety, but you want to be safe too. I don't want to bring anything home, nothing. Furniture placement. Receptionists may be responsible for a furniture place. You may be the one who orders it. You may be the one who arranges it. Furniture placed to allow access and movement of wheelchairs. Has anybody looked up the American Disability? Oh, I think it just came out today. I think I have an essay for you to do for the American with disabilities. Guys, we have to make our offices accessible to people that come in wheelchairs, to accommodate them with the order our furniture is placed in. Children's area, if provided, should contain properly sized tables and chairs. Parents are responsible to supervise their children. They don't supervise their children all the time. Toys must be cleaned and sanitized daily, and not just daily, again, with COVID, periodically. If you got a group of children, they're leaving, you've got to disinfect, you've got to clean up. Television. Many offices have a television patients can watch while they wait. A lot of doctors' offices you go to, they have televisions about diabetes, hypertension, medical issues. Whatever the topic, it should always be appropriate for the patient. You can't put a patient on and you got Missy Elliott and the and you got BT on, You can't do that, okay? You can't do that. Or you got movies with a love scene, That's just not appropriate. Lost and found may be responsibility of the receptionist to take care of the lost and found items. Okay, this is a critical thinking question. What are the major steps in a daily workflow of a medical office? What are the daily steps? What are your daily steps in a workflow of the medical office?
The work is to get the patients in, schedule them, get them out in a timely manner, not have them waiting, make sure things stay clean and sanitized and things like that.
Okay. Anybody else? They have something
to make sure that patients are taken care of.
Who is that? Who said that?
Mia.
Okay. So what did you say? Make sure patients are taken care of?
The patients are taken care of and all their needs are met when their appointment is with you.
Okay, but now look what it's asking you. What are the major steps in the daily workflow of the medical office? So we know we have to make sure that the patients are taken care of. But what are the major steps in the daily workflow of the medical office? What's more important than we talked about? So what do we have to do?
Keeping everything sanitized, making sure everything's neat and presentable for patients.
Okay.
And making
But
sure
I
you
think
Huh?
making
And
sure,
a positive attitude.
Sonia, what were you saying?
and to make sure that you have the charts pulled for the patients that are coming for today and maybe the following day.
That's very important. That's very important. And who said something else?
That was me. That's Fantasia.
Okay. Well, let's look at okay, opening the office, arrive 30 minutes before the office hours. If you have to be to work for 8 o'clock and you show up at 8 o'clock, guys, you are late. Do we understand that concept? We are
Yes,
late.
ma'am.
Okay. It
Yes,
says
ma'am.
check security alarm and disengage it. Turn on all lights, check appearance of a reception room. I had one medical assistant at one time tell me, well, that's not my that's part of your duties. That's part of you being a medical assistant, because now a lot of times you will be the first one there. If the office uses EHR, the MA should make sure the computer stations in exam rooms and physicians' rooms are turned on. That will be your job. Opening the office, if your office uses paper charts, MA should check that the charts are pulled and prepared. That's what Sonia said. Cash box is to count it. Let me tell you something about those cash boxes. If you short 50 cents on a soda, leave that 50 cents in the cash box. And talking about, I'm gonna put it back later, because that's stealing. If you take a penny out there, that's stealing, okay? And it will catch up to you, because guess what? You're gonna forget to go put that 50 cents back. The next week, you're gonna need another 50 cents. When they ask you, why is that cash drawer short? A lot of times it's petty cash. Because you bought a soda, that's not gonna jive. If you don't have the change, or unless you're gonna make change for $1, and I wouldn't even do that. If I needed change from that, nobody would see me going in that cash box at all, because guess what? Mia is watching Ashlyn go in the cash box. Mia gonna go in the cash box when Ashlyn not looking. She gonna take her $10 and she's gonna say, oh, I saw Ashlyn go in the cash box. Stay out the cash box. We got that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The cash box. Master list of patients' appointment printed out and distributed. Everybody should know who's coming to that office on that day. Okay, I'm not gonna go over managing patient records, because a lot of that is gonna be in your EHR when you read it. But I do want to know, how many of you have started? You haven't started reading this chapter yet, right?
Right.
Right. It just opened today. It just opened today, but I can't tell you enough. Okay, we've got open the office, and then there's questions. It's some more in here, but then there's questions. I can't tell you enough, guys. You can't get away from reading. If you notice, I'm sending a lot, giving you more study guide on the study guides. If you're doing them, that's fine. I need to trust that you are doing them. So in the student study guide, if you can take a picture of the first page and upload it and send it to me, if when you do the student study guide, because I know it's a lot of questions in there, and for you to type the answers on just in there is ridiculous. So is it a problem for me to ask you to upload I know some of you I see is very creative. You got the first page, the second page, and the third, and I can scroll down and I can see all of the pages. Who does? I think Ashlyn did that.
That's me.
Who?
Yes, ma'am.
Me.
And and Alicia. The other of you, are you having a hard time taking pictures of that and uploading it?
No, it works fine for me.
Well, but what I did see with you, Mia, yours was too big. I think you sent me something on
Okay.
a notebook, and I could only get to a certain part, and I couldn't read it. So if you can take a picture of the workbook, take a picture of your workbook, and I don't know how you label it going down, and I can scroll down and I can see all of it. Can all of you guys do that?
Well, I didn't know how to upload all of them, so I just took a picture of the first one, of the
Yeah.
first the picture.
I need to see that I need to see all of them because
Yes,
I have to grade it.
ma'am.
I
Okay.
just don't know how to make it smaller, like it's big whenever I put it on there.
Mine was already huge. And I did it in a medium size, but I was like, whoa.
The way that I did it,
Alicia, okay, Ashley, how do you do it? Go ahead. How do you do it, Ashley?
the way that I do it is when you upload it, the picture will show up and it's huge. But if you notice, there's a blue outline around the bottom corner that you can see, and you can just drag it, and then it'll show you the numbers that it is when it's the size that you want it. And what you do for the next one is you put those numbers in instead of the ones that's already on there, and it'll automatically shrink it down to the size you want. And you can just do that for all the pictures.
Carly, does that help?
Can I do that on my phone? Because when I'm on my phone, I don't see no numbers or nothing.
Well, how do you upload it through the upload thing at the bottom, or do you do it through the comments?
I do it through the comments because I never see the upload thing at the bottom.
Well, I know for my phone, if I'm doing it on my phone, sometimes it'll show the numbers, but then other times it's just the little blue outline. So I'll just click and drag it, and it doesn't take too long. It's just to click and drag it and get them all the same size so that you can put it in the comments and it'll fit.
Right.
Carly, I need you to work with that, and if you can, all I need to see is that you're doing your work. Until you can master it or until you can upgrade what you're using, I need you to just send it in that way. Don't stop sending it, just sending it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions about uploading or how we can't upload or why you can't upload? Okay, so if we have any questions, 154, we have no questions, 154 started today. Carly, if you need to get with me, is Sheena on the line? Okay, maybe not. But guys, that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions for me, please ask me, text me. If you have something about doing work from your end, you can put it in the group text that we have. But does anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, anybody have any problems with the work that I'm putting out there, that I'm presenting? What do you think about the work?
It's good, just that sometimes, you can't upload. You got to play with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and guys, and go ahead, what else?
Issue.
Huh?
So that was the only issue, is to upload it.
Okay, and look, if you open a test, guys, you have to finish it. I'm going and make these tests smaller on only 20 questions if you don't think you're gonna have time to do it. And you got your books. Some of y'all still getting them all wrong. You got your books, read it, and some people put in time. I'm not giving you any time limits. Just read them, answer it, and that's where most of your points come in because I don't make the test. I can take things out, and I have taken some out to make it smaller, but I don't make those tests, okay? They come straight from TestGen and Pearson's, okay? So any questions?
No questions, but thank you for making the test smaller because when I saw 75 questions, I almost cracked
Well,
up.
I don't know how long that's gonna last because I don't put it. So just enjoy it now, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. Okay?
But you can start it and resume it. Like after you start it, I mean you can stop it and then you go back and resume it. I just didn't have time to do my very last test because I had to go to work. But it did like when I do log back in, it do let me resume the test. I just didn't have time to do that actual last one.
But
The
I
1
won't
through 10, 1 out of 10.
Okay, so you gotta finish because I won't be able to go in and change the grade, okay? Okay?
Okay.
All right, guys, so we have any more questions?
No, I did the thing that you told me to do about the hypertension thing. I did write it in too.
Okay, all right, I'll go back and check it.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You
You
too.
too.
Yeah.